Hey folks, today I'm going to show you how to complete your spreadsheet assignment for your final project. You have been asked to create a spreadsheet of the products that you would use or the services that you would buy with the grant money that is available. For this grant, for this project, which is totally fictional, but which does match the real grant money that's available through the summer company, you can ask for up to $3,000 worth of stuff. So you have to decide what that stuff is going to look like, and specifically what you would buy. Now for this assignment, I would recommend not including more than 5 purchases. So pick the 5 things that you would most like to buy if you had some grant money for your business. So I've been creating a business called Hats for Cats, a hat making business, which is very exciting, to make hats for cats. So one of the things that I think would be helpful for me would be to take a course in how to make hats. So hat making is called millinery, and I'm just going to Google millinery courses. Probably Toronto is going to be the closest place that you can do that. And I'm going to get a bunch of results, and this one probably looks okay. Click on this. This is a guy. He runs some workshops. Fantastic. Here we go. Introduction to Hat Making, 3-day millinery workshop, $325. Perfect. So for this project, I'm going to say that this is going to be one of the items that I'm going to use with my grant money. So what I'm going to do then is copy that website and go to a new spreadsheet. On your spreadsheet, I want you to create, come back here, spreadsheet, 3 columns. So your first column is going to be titled Item, second one is going to be titled Cost, and the third Website. So for each of these, there we go, that looks better. So for each of these things, you're going to indicate what it is that you're going to purchase with your grant money. For the first one, I'm going to call it Millinery Workshop. And by just putting your cursor between these column headings, if you double click, that should auto widen or compress your column so that it fits the information that's there. What does it cost? Well, let's go back and check. We know it's $325. So we'll put in that it's $325 and format this as a monetary column. And then we're going to put the link to the website. I just pasted it in there. And again, I'll custom adjust that so I can see all of that there. So this shows that I've got $325 for a millinery workshop, and that this is where I've really researched this. Now to keep things simple, I'm going to highlight the top of my spreadsheet so it's nice and easy to see. Pick a color. You can either pick one that works with your business color scheme or just one that's really bright, so something like a bright yellow. So after that, I'm going to get back on Google and look up some other things that I think would be great for my business. So for me, I think I'm going to look up a sewing machine, maybe also a serger, maybe some fabric that I could make into some hats for cats. After I've done that, I will put all of those into a spreadsheet, and this is, bam, look at that. This is the magic of doing this ahead of time. So I've put all of these things, I've got 5 things, and I put them into a spreadsheet. And we'll get rid of this graph because I'm not going to use it quite yet. So I put them all into a spreadsheet with the amounts and the websites of where I've researched the real prices. Now you'll also notice, wait, don't do that, come back. Okay. That this does not say $325. I used a formula to include also the tax that I would have to pay on top of the regular registration fee. So I said that it was going to be $325 times 1.15. So that's the amount itself is the 1, and the 0.15 is the 15% tax that you would pay anywhere in Ontario. So I've added that into all of my purchases to ensure that the grant money doesn't leave me 15% short of all the things that I want to buy. Now, after I've came up with 5 things, I created another thing that used a formula. You can use a different, fancier one. This is me using my old school formulas that I learned back when I took computer courses. So using a formula to say that I want to have the total of these particular cells, and that shows me the total amount of grant money that I'm requesting. Again, to make this a little more visible, I think I'm going to highlight this like that. So for your spreadsheet, I'd like you to include headings, item, price, and website, to have at least 5 items, and then to use a formula to create a total. Then I'm going to ask you to take all that information and turn it into a chart. Now I know in Chapter 7 you've been doing a lot of charts, so you should be very good at this. So this is the chart that I made, but I will show you again how it is easily done. To turn this information into a chart, you don't need to include the website information for this, but you're going to select all of your items and prices. You're going to highlight those 2 columns of information. And then you're going to go to Insert and select a chart. For this case, I think I would select a pie chart because it's showing how much of the total amount that you're requesting is going to each thing. So I would recommend select a 3D pie chart. I just think they look cute. You could certainly do a 2D pie chart or a donut depending on what represents your purchases best. So to do a 3D pie chart, you could just select this, and that magically turns all of your information into a chart. Move the previously existing one down here, and we'll look at the new one. What I recommend is, rather than just showing that however much of your 100% of your thing goes to a millinery workshop, a sewing machine, a serger, some felt, I think the best way to represent this as a grant application is to show how much money of each thing is going to what component. So to do that, we're going to go to Quick Layout. Ta-da! And if you suggest, you can look at what all of these things will look like before you click on them, but if you select Quick Layout number 4, that will show all of your purchases with the money amounts that you would spend on each. I think that's more interesting than seeing percentages like this or than just seeing titles. I think the money amount is what a granting business or a granting organization would most be interested in seeing. Okay, so if we're going to give you, I've asked for $1,881, so close to $1,900. If we're going to give you $1,900, where is that going? So in my case, it's going largely to photography, realizing that if I'm going to have an internet business making hats for cats, I need to pay to have some professional photographs taken of my hats on some cats. A millinery workshop to learn how to make hats, or make hats rather. Sewing machine, a serger, and some hat making felt material. So by selecting layout number 4, ta-da, there's my fantastic graph. So this is what I would expect from your spreadsheet when you submit it, and you'll see that I will create a checklist with all of these components included: item, price, website, 5 things with their tax included in the price by using a formula. The websites, because I'm actually going to check that the websites that you've used really do link to those products, to those prices. You can see that this one currently, for example, is a sewing machine that's on sale that might not stay on sale, so by the time in a few weeks if I checked it, it might be a higher price, back up to $335. That's okay. I just kind of want to make sure that you haven't made numbers up. Then a total using a formula, and a simple circular chart, be it a pie chart or a donut chart, showing the dollar amounts of what you're going to spend for all of your things. So by creating these things in this spreadsheet, you are going to have finished one of your assignment components. Good job!